The HoneyDew with Ryan Sickler.
Welcome back to the HoneyDew, y'all. We're over here doing it in the Night Pants Studios. I am Ryan Sickler, ryansickler.com, and Ryan Sickler on all your social media. I want to say thank you, like I do every week, for real, for all your support on this show. It grows every week. It has since day one. So I can't thank you guys enough for that. All right. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. That's what really helps the show. It's a free way to help too. All right. And if you got to have more, if you're one of those people that's like, man, one isn't enough, then you got to check out that Patreon. You hear me say it every week. And every week, some new shit comes up with your stories. It's the HoneyDew with y'all, and I highlight the lowlights with y'all. And like I said recently, we just talked to a guy who was dead for 3.5 minutes because a pickup truck fell on him, pushed him down in the water, and he drowned in the water. He was dead for 3.5 fucking minutes. Okay, that's the kind of shit I get weekly. All right, it's $5. If you sign up for a year, you get a month free. You're also getting this very show, the HoneyDew. You're getting it ad free, and you're getting it a day early for no additional cost. There's no levels and tiers and shit. It's $5. All right. Now, you know what we're doing over here. We're highlighting these lowlights, and these are the stories behind the storytellers. Ladies and gentlemen, very excited to have this guest here. First time on the Do. Please welcome Cipha Sounds to the HoneyDew.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank
you can
you
do the show multiple times?
What do you mean?
Because you said it's my first time here.
Yeah.
So I might have a second or third.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. But people have done it.
One before two or three. Yeah.
I'm already playing in the trilogy.
Yes, people have definitely done it for sure.
Okay, good. Because I got a lot of stories.
Well, before we get into any of them, please plug and promote everything at the top.
Okay, I'm going to plug some stuff. You're not going to care yet, but hopefully as the episode progresses, you'll be like, let me rewind, see how to follow this guy. First of all, at Cipha Sounds, Cipha. It's going to be written somewhere, right?
Yep.
Thank you. That's Instagram and TikTok, all that stuff. I have a podcast called One Ep is Life. It's the first hip-hop podcast ever. We relaunched it during COVID, me and my partner, Peter Rosenberg. So One Ep is Life is my hip-hop podcast. And then I have a comedy podcast called Talk Clearlier with me and Will Sylvans. And if you listen to me and Will Sylvans try to speak, it's horrendous. We butcher the English language.
It's so good.
It's
That's
really
great.
fun, though. So check those out.
All right. Okay.
And all shows on my Instagram and stuff, so you'll see all that stuff.
So Dan Van Kirk introduced us.
Yeah.
And I've definitely heard about you. I don't know you. You're a New York guy.
Yeah.
And I don't really, do much but stay in LA and do the road. But I was interested because I know you have an interesting background and you were music first and you've shifted into comedy.
100%. Yeah.
So let's talk about you first. Where are you from? Tell me about how you came up.
So I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm Puerto Rican, but here's the thing. I'm Puerto Rican ethnically, but not culturally. So I'm not one of these proud Puerto Ricans that my family's from Bayamon. I'm from the Bronx. And I grew up in the Bronx until I was about 15. Then my mom got a promotion and we moved to Long Island. So I went from the hood to then a very white high school.
All right, so let's stop there for a second. Are your mom and dad together?
No, my dad died when I was 3.
Wow, how?
Yeah.
Were they together at the time?
Yeah.
What happened? Do you know?
You know what? I don't really know. He drowned. Apparently he drowned.
I just said this shit. The guy I talked to drowned.
He drowned. But apparently he went fishing with some friends. Something happened with the boat. The thing that fucked him up is he lost his glasses. He was almost legally blind. Horrible. So they say he was just swimming aimlessly because he lost his glasses and eventually he drowned, which is really sad. So then somehow my little cousin, who's my father's sister's son, got mad at me one day, calls me, leaves me some voice messages. Your father was in the streets. Nobody told you. He got killed. So I was like, whoa, what? I asked my mom, I'm like, what is Matthew lying or were you lying to me? Was he she's like, no, he fucking drowned. And showed me the newspaper article. She's like, the fuck is he talking about? So, but yeah, apparently he drowned when I was just turned 3. So I have like literally 3 memories of him.
Man, what are they?
He drove an ice cream truck.
What kind?
Mr. Softy, classic, New York. I remember being in the ice cream truck. I remember sitting at a table and he was drinking a Heineken. And I remember one time I was in bed and he like leaned over and gave me a kiss on my forehead.
Oh, you
and I remember
that.
It was my grandmother's house in the Bronx base apartment. And I remember like these hooks above. And that's really it. Everything else I know is like pictures. And yeah, it's nothing.
And are you his only son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super young. My mom had me when she was 16.
Oh, wow.
I think he was 19.
Okay.
So it was like,
So teenagers having a baby.
Yeah.
And then your mom is doing what when she gets this promotion? What was she doing?
Oh, my mom worked for FedEx at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She worked she drove the big trucks for FedEx.
Really?
They call them the
Through
Grummins.
the Bronx?
No, Westchester.
Okay.
Like above the Bronx. But she knew all his like there was some rappers from there, like Heavy D, Brand Nubian. She would get their autographs from me. Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, the
wrestler.
JYD, yeah.
He lived up there. But my mom was gangster though. My mom was in a gang when she was young.
Really?
Yeah, so when
Tell
she
me about
delivered
her,
FedEx in the projects, this is really cool. I want to write a joke about this. All the gangsters, all the hood guys in the projects loved her. She was like one of them. They'd be like, oh, they used to think, FedEx used to be Federal Express.
Yep.
So they used to think it was like cops.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, nah, we know y'all 5-0, but we like you. So then she's like, I'm not a fucking cop, I'm a delivery. Well, what are you talking about? So what they would do to drug dealers, they would put baking grease on the steps, but they would have a code of which steps didn't have baking grease. So if they were being chased by the cops, they would go 3, 5, 7.
Oh, hell yeah. I love
Right?
shit like this.
So they would go 3, 5, 8. So like when you're running from the cops,
those are the ones you jump
you
on.
jump on, and the cops would just slide.
That's fucking great.
So they would give her the code. They're like, yo, we like you, 3, 5, 7, or whatever. And she would like climb up with boxes and know what. Come on,
hilarious.
man.
It's their shit too.
But that's why I love hood stuff. It's like these people are smart, but they just this condition that they're living is fucked up. But like that's genius.
It is.
That's some guerrilla warfare shit,
Mm-hmm.
right? So but yeah, so then she became a dispatcher, and the whatever you call it, the dispatcher room was in Long Island.
So she got you out of the projects up to Long
Well, we didn't live in
Island?
the projects.
Oh, okay.
But she just worked in the project.
Got it.
But we lived in the Bronx. But it was like, you don't know it's bad until when you get older. You'd be like, oh, there was some. It was bad, but it was normal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people always talk about the bad stuff in the hood, but it was super fun too. Like people outside hanging out, music, food. Like, yes, bad things happen, but like when you watch gangster movies, it's always like focusing on the bad stuff. It was a lot of fun. It's like families.
Yeah, and you think about a movie, it's 90 minutes, 2 hours. So even if that bad shit does go down, there's still 24 hours in that motherfucking
exactly.
day.
Yeah, it's like concentrated.
Yeah.
And you're telling the story, but like, I loved it, man. I loved it.
So did you like your new place when you moved to the? You said you were you said you were an all white school.
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly. How old when you moved?
So I was in 10th grade. So I was like 15.
Okay, so you're starting a new high school.
Yeah. So I went 1 year high school in the city,
Mm-hmm.
and then moved in 10th grade. So like now I'm new. You know what I mean? I'm the new kid.
And what's that transition like for you?
It was like rough. Like I get really dark when I tan, and like right before we moved, I went on vacation with my mom, so I was dark. And like literally first day gym class, I take off my shirt and this guy's, you part N-word? And I was like, what? Just punched him right away. And like first day I'm in the vice principal's office and he's like, oh, Luis Diaz from the Bronx. Like, we don't want that kind of trouble here. I'm like, me? What?
Right, yeah.
This guy just, so I had to like readjust. And then I was the only Puerto Rican, but again, I don't even speak Spanish. Like, I'm not culturally Puerto Rican. I'm just a New Yorker. So it was me who has like a Latin name. Then there was like 3 kids from like South America, and there was 5 black kids, but they all lived in a group home that was in that neighborhood. So there
all
wasn't
of them
even
together.
There wasn't even a black family.
Wow.
They lived in the group home.
Wow.
You know, it was like a one of those charity type things. So there was like no what's the word people use now? With lots of different people.
Gentrification.
No, with a D. Why
diversity.
Diversity.
Yeah.
Why am I blanking out? There's no diversity. But this is like 90s, early 90s. So like all these white kids loved hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
But then they were racist. Some, not all, not all, but some.
I watch guys at Ravens tailgates wear like a Ray Lewis jersey and drop the M-bomb. And I'm like, how are you doing
I love
that?
it. No, because the stars get a pass.
Right, yeah. Well, he's not. He's not.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, what? How's that working over there?
But yeah, it was a weird.
So did you play sports or anything? Like, what did you do to like ingratiate, or did you never like really blend in with the kids in school? Music. Okay.
Music.
So tell me about that.
So it was like some people were racist, but they weren't like hateful racist. They just, I guess they
Ignorant more than hateful. Yeah.
And they hear their dad use the N-word, and like, if they get into a fight with a black kid, they throw the N-word out, but they're also not really racist. They just know it's going to hurt that person in that moment.
Right.
So whatever, I had a lot of friends, and then they thought I was cool because I was from the Bronx, and like I would like get the new cool music from my friend and his older brother. And then so I started watching a lot of Yo MTV Raps, Video Music Box. I was a local video show in New York, and listening to the radio. And I was like, oh, I miss, because hip hop was just around me everywhere. Like it was just playing in the street. And then now it wasn't. So I was like, oh, I missed that. So then I went looking for it. And I got into like my stepfather or my mom got married. That didn't last long. And he had like a turntable and an old mixer he lent me. And that was it. I was in. Like I used to record on videotape all the rap shows, and then I would try to buy records as much as I could. I got a job. Oh no, I didn't get a job yet. I would try to buy records. My mom bought me some for Christmas, and I would just be in my room for like hours, just practicing.
Isn't it crazy though? This person in and out of your life, but left you something that sticks with
they
you
took it
forever.
away.
But I'm saying not the moment,
Oh,
not
yeah,
the
yeah.
passion, not
the thing, to get into it.
Yeah.
And
they say, what do they say? People are here for a season, a reason, or a moment, is some shit like that. Like,
you know what? I never even put that together. Like, he definitely wasn't around long, but he gave me a turntable that
impact.
Created my whole life. That's a great point, man.
Mm-hmm. Great
point. So I didn't do anything else. Like, I just wanted to be a Marine. That's it.
So you just liked music. You weren't thinking about DJing or working in it. You just liked music.
Everything I did in life was a pastime until I turned 18. Like my birthday's April.
Mm-hmm.
I would have graduated in June. And June 28th, I was going to enlist. So everything in life was just, I loved like Vietnam, like Platoon, Vietnam movies, Platoon and Hamburger Hill. And I just wanted to be a Marine. And my mom was like, why do you want to be a Marine? I'm like, yo, the uniforms is fly. Baby. I mean, they're always like so on point. And I liked order. So I was like, and I didn't have no other like goals really. I didn't know anything. And I was just waiting till I turned 18. So like, I was very smart, but I never did my homework. So whatever. Everything is just like, waiting till I'm 18, wait till I'm 18. I'm going to go join the Marines. And then I get into music and I go, well, I can't rap. I don't know how to rap. I don't know how to play instruments. But if I practice DJing for hours, I'll get it. It's something you can learn and not be like.
So interesting you say that, because here at the school, Lana has a nonprofit where I've taught podcasting, like a 101 class.
Yeah.
But it started with her doing DJ classes. And she teaches these kids, like, look, you can go out and you don't have to work at Starbucks or Little Caesars or some shit like that. You could go out just on a weekend, do a bar mitzvah, make bank, and boom, you're good to go. So it's a skill that you could take out with you into the world and not have to hit that minimum wage 9 to 5 shit. Yeah.
100%. And like now it's so much easier. Now you could download songs for free.
Right.
Get a laptop and a controller and you're gone. We had to spend money on records every week. So I get into that and I start liking it more and more.
Are you scratching like records? Like I remember seeing DJ Hurricane like do it behind his back and shit, run from one turntable to the other one and shit. Yeah.
And I wanted to be a producer. So a lot of my favorite producers were DJs, like DJ Premier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm young. I'm like, you have to be a DJ to be a producer. So I had to like learn it. And it just turned into an obsession. And I never had an obsession before. So my mom was like almost kind of worried. So I was in my room for hours. She's like, I was a good kid. I didn't get in trouble, whatever. So she's like, what's this guy doing in there? So one day I come home and the turntables are gone. And she's like, you're in your room too much. You need to go out. And I got so pissed. I walked out of the house, walked down the block and got a job at this place called Chicken Choice.
Is that right?
Chicken Choice, man.
Pissed off, walked right into a job.
First place. It was literally like 2 blocks away. It was like a little four-store strip mall. You know what I mean? One of them little ones? Donut shop, whatever. I go into Chicken Choice. I go, I need a job. The guy goes, put on an apron. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just frying chicken, making fries and zucchini strips, you know what I mean? And then clean the grill. They had like flame grilled chicken. I would just clean the grill. And I remember I was making money, like getting some tips, stuff. And I just saved up, bought a brand new turntable.
What's your first one? Tell me that you bought.
Technique 1200. That's the tank. That's the one. To this day, now they cost a lot. Now they cost like $1,000.
What was it back then?
Back then, like $400.
Still, back then, that's a lot of money too.
Yeah,
it's probably what it equals today.
Yeah. $400, and I saved up.
And that's just 2 of them?
I had to buy one. Only
not
for
even...
one. And then I bought like somebody gave me like a shitty mixer, and it had a shitty turntable. So you would play one record on the shitty turntable, but you would scratch on the good one.
Okay.
And then I would switch.
So you're listening to the shitty one and scratching the good one? Okay.
Yeah. So that the beat is playing, boom, boom, bap, boom, and then you're scratching. And then I would take it, switch it, put it on this side, practice on this side. You make way. But that's what hip hop is. Hip hop is taking nothing and making it something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then I do that for a while. Then I meet some kid, and I moved out at 17. My stepdad didn't get along. I don't even say stepdad, my mom's husband. We didn't get along. So I move out. I move into my friend's house for like 2 months. And then his older brother had like a shitty basement apartment in like the hood in Long Island. And I got down there. I had to go through their home to get downstairs. It wasn't like a separate entrance. But I was like close with his family. So it was cool. So I'd be in this shitty basement apartment. I had a girlfriend that had all this equipment. And I bought a car from him, a Datsun.
What?
Datsun 200 SX.
Okay.
You know what that is?
Yeah, I do remember. Like they were popular. Maroon one were all popular.
Navy
little sporty
blue
car. Yeah.
Yeah, a little 2-door.
Yeah.
Little speakers in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I was living, working. And then then I waited till I was 18. I went to the Marines. But I was DJing. I was still like learning how to DJ. The guy makes me take the test. Apparently I got a really high score. He's like, you could do anything in the Marines. You got your choice. He's like, we're coming to get you, Tuesday morning, 5 a.m. And I haven't spoken to my mom in years. Not years, maybe a year. And
why?
The reason why I left, I feel like she picked my stepdad over me.
Tell me, like you were leaving, you left because you felt like or when you left, you felt like she picked your stepdad or her husband over you.
It was just like he was just a jerk, and
to you as well.
Yeah,
and her.
Yeah, to me. Yeah, to her. But I didn't know as much as he was. That later I found out he was really a jerk to her.
I see.
But I guess she was like picking him over me with certain things, and then she took my turntables away, and then she was like, you gotta like get a real job. You know what I mean? What are you doing? Like, you got to go to school for this. And I'm like, I kind of like that. I want to try doing this. And she's like, no, you got to do something real. And my mom was a truck driver. You know what I mean? Like, she's to the core. Like,
yeah.
She's like, get a, like, I think I took airplane mechanics. No interest. But it was like learning a skill, you know what I mean? And finally I was just like, I don't know. I've always been like independent. Like I can't take people like bossing me around. So I just left. And then I called her. I said, you know, I'm enlisted in the Marines. Like I've always told you I was going to do. And I'm leaving, you know, tomorrow. She's like, I want to come talk to you. She comes talk to me that night. And she goes, is it sure something you want to do? Because it seems now you're into this music thing. And I go, this is always what I wanted to do. And she goes, yeah, but are you stuck in this mind frame of it's what you always wanted to do, but now you're kind of doing something else? She's like, well, the Marines are never not going to be there. So why don't you try this for a year and then go? And I was up all night. And I called the guy at 4 a.m. I go, hey, man, I think I'm not going to go tomorrow or today. I think I'm going to take a year and think about it. And he went off on me. He started screaming, you're soft. I thought you had heart.
We had the same experience with the
same
military.
thing, right?
I've never told this story. Go
But
ahead.
you did it. It was in person?
Mhm.
Like, luckily I was on the phone.
No. I'll tell you. Go ahead.
And he's screaming, I thought you had heart. You said you wanted to be a Marine. And then it literally clicked. I was like, wait a minute. I left home because somebody was yelling at me. Now I'm voluntarily going to a place where they're going to yell all day. And I was like, oh, I made a terrible decision. I'm not coming.
And that's how they let you go?
Yeah.
Not me, dude.
No.
I had gone in. I was living with my grandmother at the time. My dad had died. And in this process, like she remembers my dad going into the Navy during Vietnam. And she's telling me the whole time, don't go, don't go. And there was a recession at that point. I had applied for 21 jobs. I'll never forget. Record and tape traders, all these places. I couldn't get a fucking job. I became a manny. I went and fucking helped a kid, a young boy with baseball. I taught his sister to drive, all this shit.
Really?
Yeah, I took anything I could get.
Yeah.
I was going to donate sperm, and my grandmother was going off about that. But then I did research, and I learned, because you think you're going to jerk and make all this money, but you can only do 2 samples per a square radius of an area.
Oh, right.
Because even though it's not probable, it's possible those 2 siblings could get together and they're related.
Hilarious.
So you can't just be dropping loads all over the Bronx. You know, you get one in the Bronx, you get one over here, and that's it, right? So I was like, well, there goes that shit. My grandmother's Catholic and yelling, it's still your child. You know, that shit. I'm like, God, shut up. So I go in for my first, I go to MEPS. I go in for my first training thing, and I test really well. Also, they tell me I could do whatever I want. I'll go in higher as a C, whatever, especially because I had some community college credits, all this stuff. And my grandmother dies during that process, and I'm just devastated because I just lost my father. I just lost my grandmother. The way it happened was brutal. I don't have it in me. And I call the number, and it was a lady first. And she goes, you know what? I don't blame you one bit. She goes, they're going to fight you.
What, you called the number to say you're out?
I called a number to say I was out, and it was just ended up being this angel today.
Yeah.
And she's like, they're going to fight you. She
Right.
goes, but you stay strong. If this is not what you want, you stay strong.
That's crazy.
I said, okay. And I called my friend's father, and he was a lifelong Marine. He's, you know, I'm in college, and this is his dad who's still in the Marines since, you know, he was.
Yeah, that's his job.
Yeah, his job.
Yeah.
And he told me, get the fuck out. He goes, you're not actually sworn in. He goes, what happened? I go, man, they told me I could do this job. All of a sudden, now they're telling me I got to be a jet mechanic, and the computers froze, and they're just going to assign me this position, and then don't worry, we'll figure it all out. They'll move back. I go, I already know what this bullshit is. And he goes, it is bullshit. So he said, you're not officially in until you swear in that second time. I go, when do I do that? He goes, you swore in once? I go, I did. He goes, all right, you won't swear in again until the day you're going to get on that bus and go to boot camp. That's when you swear in. Again, that's the official one, because so many people change their mind or whatever. And he's like, when you get on there, if you do that, and he goes, get the fuck out now. So I call, and the guy's doing that to me. I thought you had heart. I thought you, and they're just going on and on. You gotta go. You gotta go. I know. I got, and I'm just staying calm. I'm like, I know I don't have to.
But you're a kid.
Yeah.
How old are you? 19?
I was 20.
20. Like, they know you're not there yet.
And I'm like, my grandmother just died. I need to be around my family right now. They need me. I'm not going. They're like, well, so the guy comes and gets me. at my home.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. They went all
He
out.
comes and gets me at my home, and he drives me back to the MEP Center where I sit and talk to somebody else who's in person is doing the same thing, trying to intimidate me and scare me. And I'm just smiling.
Yeah.
I'm smiling because I know I don't have to go.
Right,
and I'm not
right.
going to fucking go. And now that I see the way you guys are, I'm so glad I'm not fucking going. This is bullshit. And yeah, they fucking
You're
told
lucky
me.
you had somebody that could tell you didn't have to go.
Right.
Because how many kids think they already did the swear in?
I
and they
thought
gotta
that.
go?
Yeah. I'm like, no, I already swore in, did the thing. And I also remember testing, and I was making the guys laugh during the testing. I'm like, this is some weird shit we're doing. I was like, hey guys, did they stick a pencil up your ass? And these dudes would start dying laughing. I'm like, I should be doing something else here. I know I should be doing something else. And the guy goes, he goes in it like he does with you. And at the end he goes, so what's your decision? I go, here's what's funny to me. You're screaming at me for 5 minutes telling me I have to do this. And then when you wrap it all up, you ask me what my decision is. And I told 3 of you 3 hours ago, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And then they let me walk out of there because you're not really in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I was obligated to go legally, you drag me in or throw me in cuffs
That's
or whatever.
right. I'd be
the thing
arrested
is.
when I left here.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I get it.
It's the same thing. So when you said jet mechanic, I was like, oh, it sent me into it. I was like, nah, fuck. That's the same shit they did to me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I have all the respect.
Me too. I love our military. I support it.
man.
But my experience and what I was going through at the time personally, and then the experience I had with you trying to recruit me in, wasn't a good experience.
Yeah, I love that. I love those guys, man. So then I just
all right. So now you're out
music,
and you dive into music.
I go. Some kid I met at community college. I'm taking a program in college, studio recording, learning how to be an engineer. I'm like, oh, this I can explain this to my mom. When people record stuff, there's a guy pressing all the buttons. This is what I want to go to school for. I'm killing it. It's a special program. The guy, it was in Nassau Community College. He was an engineer. He created this program, killing it. So you learn like music theory, music business, studio recording. Learned everything about working in a studio, machinery, gadgets, equipment, loved it. And then I met some kid. He had a rap group. He goes, hey, we're going to bring the rap group to this college radio station, this other college in Long Island, Adelphi. Can I go? I've never been to a hip-hop college radio show. He's like, yeah, come with us. We go in, shitty studio. This guy named Wildman Steve. He would do an hour of playing like unsigned artists. And that was at 10 to 11. And then 11 to 1, it was a DJ named DJ Riz. And he would play all the underground hip hop stuff. But the first hour was unsigned artists. So go there. This guy brings his rappers. They rap. They're about to leave. And I asked the guy, Wildman Steve, I go, can I hang out for the show? He goes, yeah, just stay out of the way, but you can hang out. So everybody leaves. I stay by myself. Within those 3 hours, I figured out everything. I go, every time someone rings the doorbell, he has to go downstairs and open the door. Okay? There's phone lines ringing. He has to answer it. In 3 hours, I go, hey man, can I help you like answer your phones and maybe open the door and get you like food or whatever? And he was like, I don't got no money for that. I go, I'll do it for free. It's, Monday nights. He goes, all right, we'll try it. Come in next week. Box of donuts. Early. Before him, I'm sitting there waiting for him, letting people in, going downstairs, I was in. And every week I met like Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest, Mobb Deep, because it was like, this is like the 90s. So big artists who became big superstars were underground hip hop artists at that time.
Is this the place you want to get your shit played if you want to hit the
one
next
of them.
level? Okay,
one of them. In New York, there was like 5 college radio stations. But like they were like to us where we listened to all the new music. This is before internet, CDs, like this is where you listen to it. So this one is on Long Island. A lot of them are in the city. So I'm up there every week, helping out, meeting all my favorite underground rappers, the Alcoholics, Big Daddy Kane. I got pictures from all those days. Then DJ Riz is white kid, but he's incredible. He goes, oh, I'm DJing a party on Friday at this club. I go, hey, I know he doesn't have a car. So I go, hey, can I drive you to that gig? And he goes, yeah, I guess. Bro, take my bullshit car, go to Brooklyn, pick him up, drive to the city, watch him DJ, go, oh, this is it. This is what I do. And just worked with him for years. Everything.
Doing what?
Bro. So back then we had to go pick up vinyl. If you were a notable DJ, you would get free vinyl from the record companies. But sometimes you had to go pick it up. I'd go drive them there, sit in the car. They don't just go up, pick up the records, come down. They're up there bullshitting. I'm sitting in the car 2 hours. This is no phone, no iPhones, no nothing, just listening to the radio and then driving to another place, And you'd be like, yo, you sure you want to? Yep, no problem. No problem. He didn't have a car. Drove him. We go to record shops. Then we go to other college radio stations just to hang out. I mean, all my favorite rappers. And I'm in heaven. And I've found my calling. This is what I want to do. Then he worked at a club on Sundays called The Tunnel. He was the opener. So he was there from like 9 o'clock. This party was 2,500 people every Sunday. He plays before the middle DJ and then the main DJ, Funkmaster Flex. I go with him carrying his crates, getting to meet everybody. Eventually, my friend DJ Riz kind of blows up and wants to just go off on his own. He doesn't want to be an opener anymore. So they're like, well, who are you going to put in? Cipha. I've been with him for so long. He trained me. I can handle it. I get in there. I'm DJing from, it's supposed to be 8:30 to 9:30.
Okay.
The reason why they needed a DJ so early is because first 500 girls free. This was the ghettoest club. It was like jail. I was DJing in jail. Listen, 90s.
That's hilarious.
This is like, you don't have to dress. Like there was a lot of clubs in the city, but they were like R&B clubs and you had to like dress up and they were on Saturday night. This is the crack dealers, drug dealers, but it was the hottest hip hop party. So the other guy, Big Cap, he died, rest in peace. He's supposed to play from 9:30 to 11:30. And then the main guy gets in. So he comes in 9:30. He sees that I'm there. Next week comes in 10. Next week comes in 10:30. So I'm just playing, killing it. Then he gets off at 11:30. And then I get back on and play a half hour of reggae before the main DJ. So I'm running around trying to learn how to play reggae music, grabbing all the, because that's a big thing in New York, like a lot of Caribbeans. Play a half hour reggae. And it also like resets the room. Mm-hmm. Then the main DJ gets on, 12 o'clock, all the hottest shit, people going crazy. And like, so then that guy, Funkmaster Flex, I'm in there for like a year or so. And he goes, he's on the radio as a DJ. But now they want him to be an air personality at 7 o'clock. He goes, hey, you want to work with me at the radio station? I need you to, same thing I did. Get the people in, set up my records, bring food, all that shit. He goes, I'm not going to pay you, but I'll teach you how to get paid. Best lesson in my life. I'll teach you how to get paid. Take the job. Within weeks, like I would, any gig he got, he'd be like, yo, I need Cipha to open up. So if he's getting 1,000 or 2,000, I'm getting 200. And then it just starts the whole DJ life.
And what's your first big gig?
Like on my own?
Yeah.
Oh, my first big gig is DJing for Lil Kim.
And how'd that come about?
So Funkmaster Flex's manager, her name was Jessica Rosenblum. She had all the hot DJs. So if anyone needed a DJ for anything in hip hop, they called her. So Lil Kim was in a group called Junior Mafia with Biggie, and then she's gonna go solo. Like they're all still a group, but she's gonna do a solo album. So they need a DJ for the promo run, which is like all she had out was 2 Junior Mafia records, an R&B remix, and 1 single. And then she's gonna go on promo, no pay. So they give me 3.
Is that right? No pay? She did it?
Yeah, when you go on a promo run, yeah, you'll go to a bunch of radio stations around the country and they'll have like, Hot 97 night, Saturdays, live broadcast. And you go perform 2 songs, 3 songs. Mm-hmm. There's no money. You're just getting per diem. Mm-hmm. Or maybe like $1,000, whatever. And she gave me 300 a week. But see, the thing with her is that she was hot. Like, she was on fire. So people were booking her everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. We were out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sundays. And so I did that for a while.
And you were her DJ.
Her DJ.
Exclusively.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I go on stage, I play the music, they perform. And 300 a week. And then I was like, now her album comes out. The album's selling like hotcakes. Now she has more songs to perform. Now she's getting like, I watched her get 20, 30 G's. You know, I watched the road manager pick up the second half, 15 G's. I'm still getting 300 a week. A week. So I go, hey, this is, you know, it's not working out. Like I need a little more. And they're like, that's all we got. Sorry. So I quit. They hire some other kid within like 2 months. They're like, Cipha, you got to come back. You got to come back. This guy's fucking girls and acting up, messing up the shows. His records are always skipping. So I come back for 300 a show. Bro, I thought I was rich. I have a $700 apartment, like with a roommate, $700 rent. I'm coming home $1,500 a week. Bro, I was rich. I bought a chain. Man, I was out of here. And then all that just started accumulating, like DJing with Flex, DJing with Kim, getting other little gigs. Sometimes Kim would do 2 shows a night. So that's $600 instead of $300. And we're just rolling. She was going everywhere. Everywhere. Anywhere like even rappers weren't going because she was like this girl talking about all this sex shit, you know, like, so they wanted to see it. So we were going everywhere, down south, West Coast, London. It was great.
London, huh? So then what next? What after? Oh, wait, let me ask you this question.
Yeah, sorry, I'm all over the place?
No, you're not. You're in comedy enough now to know what bombing in comedy is like. What's bombing for a DJ? Have you ever bombed? Have you ever fucked up, played wrong, anything? Like what is a bomb for a DJ though?
So
you get booed at the club.
I can sick. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I was at I explained to people there's a lot of people think I made this jump from comedy to DJing, this crazy jump. I go, it's a lot of similarities. Mm-hmm. You got to read the room. You gotta like, is this a clean show? Is it? You know what I mean? Is this a more of like a woke crowd? Is this like a conservative crowd, a wild Trumpy crowd? You know how to like still the same jokes, but you kind of like there's an urban room, there's a white room, so you got to read the room. Bombing is not as bad in DJing because you're playing hit music, other people's music. So I talk a lot when I DJ. I have like a personality. So I'm talking, yo, we're going to get this party right. Everybody, da-da-da-da. Sometimes it's just not working. But see, in the DJ booth, you could turn down the lights.
So they don't see you.
Turn off the mic and just play hits.
Hide and play hits, huh?
Bro, if you play the hits, like, if you're bombing, you can't all of a sudden start doing Chris Rock.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
I'm just up there eating. Yeah.
Bro, it's by yourself. It's all you, which I love.
Yeah.
And what's the scary part? Bro, you can hide. You know what? I'm just going to play Biggie, Jay-Z, Fugees, hits. And then eventually, like, it's also, I'm DJing 3 hours. So you might bomb the first 30 minutes, get them back, and then turn the mic back on, turn the lights back on. Here we go.
I got you.
New people walked in.
Yeah.
People walking in, walking out. So the bombs aren't as bad as DJ. The gigs might be shit. Like,
give me some bad gig.
You know what? I don't know anything about sports. Obviously, you do. There's a big picture of you playing football behind you. I know nothing about sports.
Okay.
So sometimes I didn't realize I'd be DJing the night of Game 7 or the fight, night of the fight. Bro, you go in there. Like, those fights sometimes go to like 2 a.m, you know, depending where they're at. So you go in the club and nobody's there, bro. There's like 10 girls who are not interested in baseball. And you're like, it's 1 o'clock. This is when I would play all the hot shit. But I got to save it for when the people come. And there's a moment when you go, oh, they ain't coming. They not coming
at all, huh?
There's like this, it starts off slow.
When does it hit you that it ain't gonna happen?
It's always this case by case. It's case by case, but like
I wouldn't expect you to say that.
And then the promoter's like, it's a little slow right now. You're like, oh, it's cool. Right? No, they coming though. The guest list is crazy. They coming. So it's a little slow. So you might not start right away. Eventually, the promoter's looking at you like, you gonna get on? And I'm like, I guess. You get on, there's 20 people. You start playing, and they like 5 more come in, 6 more come in. And then you're like,
But what are you expecting? What are you hoping for? The packed houses, how many? I know it's case by case, but we talking about a couple hundred.
Let's say, all right, well, I used to DJ this club Speed every week. That was like, at that club was probably like 400 people.
Okay.
Maybe 5. Basement, crowded, fun, dancing. And there's like 90 people in there, and you're like, oh, it's just starting off slow. And then, like, also, like, if, like, Thanksgiving Eve is a big party night. That's a Wednesday. But if you DJ every Saturday, sometimes that Saturday after that Wednesday, not popping because the Wednesday was popping.
Right.
So you walk in normal Saturday vibes. Why was parking so easy tonight?
That's a good indicator.
Yeah, we found a spot on the street.
Right. Anytime I get a good spot, I'm like, shit, man.
It's bad. Then we go in there, and it's light, and they're like, no, they coming. Cool.
The guest list is crazy. Something's making me laugh because I've heard that shit so many times. Yeah, you know what it was? School night. Yeah. Everybody's back from college tonight. There's always some bullshit.
There's back to college. There's the weekend. So depending on when New Year's
after a holiday, and
New Year's Eve, like if it falls on a Tuesday, Saturday's dead. Saturday's dead.
I used to say to these motherfuckers every time I get a promoter and there'd be nobody there, and he's like, "Man, you should have seen it last week." I'm like, "You should have booked me last week." I would have if you booked me.
But I got to a point where I was pretty popular, where like we get our money up front, like we get our money before we even go in, and they start. I gotta run to the ATM or whatever. Like I'll be over here sitting on my crates, and me and my boys would just be sitting there waiting. If I knew them, it might be different. But if it's first time I'm working with you, no dough, no show.
I like that. And I like that.
I learned that from Biggie.
I like that. Is that right?
Like, yep. All Junior Mafia, Lil Kim. Because I was so excited. I was like, I want to perform so badly.
Yeah, well, you've worked with Biggie, Jay-Z. I want to hear stuff about that for sure. But that's what you learned, that no dough, no show. So if you don't pay fully up front, we're not performing.
They do half up front.
Okay,
half is sent. And a lot.
And then you get the other half when you get there. So you still haven't performed with a. Okay, got it.
No, bro, we used to be with Lil Kim. She wouldn't get out of the limo. Sometimes she wouldn't leave the hotel until depending how grimy it was, she would send the road manager, and then I would go with them just to check out the stage. Is the DJ booth on stage, or is it across the room? And they'd be like, "Yo, yeah, I'm with Kim. We're here to pick up the deposit, the second half." Oh, we waiting for a couple more people. I'm like, oh, are they getting the money from the door? Like they didn't have it already? And be like, all right, yo, bro, no dough, no show. And they would call back the hotel. We almost got it. If y'all want to come now, nah. And then sometimes, and then like a lot of these shows were like, in this day, there was a lot of drug dealers doing shows to launder money.
I see.
So
okay.
It was this the hood days, right? And some shows were like big tours and stadiums, arenas. Some were like just drug dealer shows, and they'd be like, "Bro, they picked us up from the airport, and it was just a fleet of Benzes, BMWs, Acuras, So there's like 8 of us, and they're like, "Yo, 2 per car." So we're like, "What?" So we get in, and all these they got jewelry, and they flying in these Acuras. We go to do the show. Sometimes they had all the money up front. Sometimes they give us the money at the airport. Because they like, we don't give a fuck about this. We just cleaning up this $500,000.
Please take this. Yeah.
But they also were like, flossing. They wanted girls at the club, whatever. So it was always different. But then, so I'm with Lil Kim. I mean, I met Jay-Z in London. His DJ, he only had 2 songs out. He had a single. We're in London, and his DJ couldn't get through customs for some reason, maybe passport issues. So they're like, yo, Kim, can we borrow your DJ? So
that's how you came to work with Jay-Z?
yeah, that's how I met him.
Yeah.
That's how I met him. And they're like, yo, can we borrow your DJ? Because we're only doing 2 songs and then you're going up after it. So he'll just be ready to go. So I go up there. So, you know, turntables have the speed 33 and 45.
Mhm.
So 45 is like faster. So it was set on 45 for some reason, but they're like, yo, we got to go now. We got to go now. Hurry, hurry. So I grab his record. We run on stage. I put it on. They're like, give it up for Jay-Z. And I play it and it's fast. So it's like, doom, 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 doom. There's a video of it. He walks on stage. He's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? I'm sorry. Because the song has no intro. He rhymes right away.
Oh, right when
so
he
it's like
started.
do,
Okay.
so as soon as you play it, he would rap as he's walking on stage, and it was a disaster. So to this day, we'll be arguing about something. He goes, "Shut the fuck up! You ruined my first show." So, to this day,
Is that right?
bro, that was 19.
19. Enough said.
Yeah,
right there.
1996.
Yeah, enough said. So you still friends with him?
Yeah, I worked for him 3 different times.
So he didn't say fuck off after that, huh? He gave you another shot?
Bro, let me tell you something about Jay-Z. That guy is funny. Like, he doesn't show it a lot in public. He has a real cool persona, but in private. And in his raps, he's so smart. He says a lot of slick shit. But personally, super funny.
Is he?
So he got it. You know, he was laughing at the moment, whatever, and we talk shit about it. And he'll fuck with me. Like, he still, but that's the thing, he still mentions it. He still brings it up. I'm like, shut the fuck
Ball
up,
buster.
man.
I love it.
Ball
Yeah.
buster. So yeah, I worked with him, but then I worked with I didn't work with everybody. I met everyone at the radio station. 97, 98, 99 was a big turning point for hip hop. It went from underground, like Biggie was one of the first wave to make it commercially successful. 98 is DMX, Jay-Z, Nori, Big Pun, all going platinum, which was new for us.
All out of New York, too, right?
All out of New York.
Mhm.
The Locks. Hot 97 was the mecca, was the culture. So everyone came to the radio station. So I just met everybody. And they would have album release parties, mixtape release parties, birthday parties, and they always need a DJ. And the radio guy, I would shout it out on the radio. So it would guarantee be more, crowded. Everybody would make money. So yeah, I met all my favorite rappers. Then I became an A&R at a couple different labels.
What's that mean?
A&R? So A&R is the guy at the label who, he's like a liaison.
No, I know who he is.
Oh.
What does A&R stand for?
Oh, A&R, the actual
What
thing.
is it? Yeah.
It's artists and repertoire.
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 Okay,
But that's
okay.
like an old...
Yeah, it is old. I know.
That's a
I
term
hear
from,
about
like, the
it.
20s,
It's
like,
so old,
yeah.
but I never knew what the R was.
Like, we gotta get our repertoire. I mean, like Bugsy Malone's label. So yeah, so I'm a hot DJ. This record company hires me. They're like, we want you to be like an A&R and tell us if our records would work in the clubs you DJ at. So I'm listening to records. That won't work. That won't work. Ooh, that'll work. Then, so now we're in the 2000s. And this is what I was trying to tell you earlier about working for free. It's like I'm like a forever intern in my mind. If Funkmaster Flex called me today, and I was like, yo, bring me a sandwich, I'll go, you want mustard on that? To this day, bro.
That's great. Yeah,
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
My list, when I finally one day get an award, I already got the list in order. Mom, thank you. Stepdad, fuck you, but thanks for the turntable.
Thanks for the turntable.
Boom, 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 boom. Everybody who gave me my shot. So now it's the 2000s, Pharrell, like the Neptunes, they're blowing up. They're the hottest producers. They want to start their own label. So I go, hey, I've A&R'd for this label. I A&R'd for this label. Smaller, but still had some records. I was like, can I A&R for you? They're like, our budget's kind of low. I'm kind of just doing it myself until we build it up. I was like, I'll do it for free. Do it for free. So they're like, do it for free? I'm like, do it for free. So they're like, okay. So I go hang out with them at the studio. Now I'm in the studio with mega stars. That's a lot of them I already knew. They met me like, I'm the cool kid from Hot 97. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Everyone loves me. Just a cool guy. But also like, if anyone's DJ was sick on the road, they would call me. Can you do this weekend with us? I'm like a reliable, last minute guy. Drive anywhere. And so like that reputation is starting to take hold. Mm-hmm. And I go work for the Neptunes. And I worked there for like 6 months. Pharrell was so talented. The Neptunes were so talented. It was a very easy A&R job. I would bring the records to the record companies. Hey, this is what Pharrell did last night. Oh, we love it. Just easy. 6 months. And then I go, man, this was amazing. I learned so much. I gotta go figure out how to make some money though. Cause I can't be here all the time. And Pharrell goes, we don't pay you?
Nah, they forgot.
They forgot. He goes, we don't pay you? What do you mean? I go, bro, I've been doing this for free. I just want to do it. He goes, you have an office. You're on. He goes, aren't you on like it's through a record company. He's like, aren't you on like the
payroll and direct deposit and shit?
Human research? I go, no, I just have like a guest pass every day. He goes, what the fuck? So he calls people, gets me in officially. And he gave me back pay for like 3 months.
How about that? All
back
right.
Pay. So, the point is, I try to tell everybody, I don't have any connections as a kid. There's no famous family members. I have not great education. Nothing. That's why the Marines were like the bet. Like, you don't need anything. You just go in and you fucking become somebody. So I had to figure out a way. And like, I always offer. To this day, I'll do it. Like, can I come? Like, do you need help? Now they go, yeah, just come, Cipha. You don't have to do anything. But I find a way in, and working for free is a great way to get your foot in the door.
Well, what you're working for is the experience. You don't get that dollar right there, but that's the long game. Right?
The experience is harder to get.
That's right. You're not going to get there. I don't give a fuck who it is. No teacher is going to teach you something better than Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Than Pharrell, than
being
fucking
around it.
Funkmaster Flex, DJ Premier. Yeah. You're seeing also what you're learning is how each one of them handles their business. How they, maybe things you would do differently that will work better for you. Yep. There's so much. I tell Tom all the time when we're out. Look, if Segura called and said, I don't have any money anymore, I would still go out and fucking work with him because I love Tom and I love just being around him. But I tell him and his manager all the time, I'm not just happy to be here. I'm paying attention to what you guys are doing. You've built an empire.
Yeah.
What a fool I would be to just, not be there. Like, I watch how they handle things. I watch how they take care of their business.
I don't walk into a room. I walked into your spot. I was like, okay, got that on the wall. Oh, put the logo here with the cameras. Like, I watch all that shit. So you can't get that.
So I agree, and I say to young comics, ask me, if you're getting in this to make money, then forget it, because you're gonna work for free for a long time. You gotta fucking love it, and you loved DJing. That's the other thing.
Loved it.
You didn't mind working for. I'm not gonna work for free for shit I don't love, and I'm not gonna work for free forever, like we talked about. You don't want to get taken advantage of, but
no, but like. A lot of people, you might have to have a day job. I'm lucky that my day job was a night job.
Right.
Where I was DJing at night. I had no sleep, but I loved it.
So you're DJing for the biggest hip hop artist in the world, Biggie. Yeah. Did you work with Biggie? You said you did?
Not Biggie. No. Right after.
Okay.
Right.
But
Kim.
What makes you shift gears, and at what point do you do that into comedy?
See, this is we don't have enough time. This is, we need more fruit. So, this is all weaved together, but so the reason why I was getting into why you work for free. So I'm friends with Mos Def and Talib Kweli. I A&R'd at their label. Mos Def, he went on I gotta do 5 colleges. Want to come with me? Gave me $1,000 a show. Where Lil Kim was giving me $300 a show. And Lil Kim's supposed to be a hip hop superstar. Mos Def is like underground. And I go, how am I making more with him, with her? And he gave me the best advice. He goes, yo, pay your friends. He goes, what? I don't understand people. Pay your friends. I was like, yeah, I'm going to give this guy more money because he's an expert.
Right.
But my friend does the same thing.
Right.
So whatever. So I'm hanging out with Mos Def, Talib Kweli, and they're friends with Chappelle. Chappelle loves hip hop. He's a hip hop guy. I meet Chappelle one night with them. We're hanging out. And I meet him another night. We're at some party. And he goes, hey, I'm going to walk over. This is the first time I ever heard the words, the Comedy Cellar. He goes, hey, I'm going to walk over to the Comedy Cellar to do a set. You want to come? I had some girl with me. I'm like, can I bring the girl? He goes, yeah, come. So we walk, 20 blocks. That's normal in New York. We walk 20 blocks. And he's like, yo, how did you start? What'd you do? So we're talking hip hop. He goes in the cellar, walks in, does 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And the cellar, it was crowded, but it's not like how it is now where it's like a fucking megaplex of comedy. And I go sit there, we watch him 2.5 hours. I'm amazed because the thing I loved about him is shit we talked about on the walk was on stage.
Yeah. And
I was like, how the fuck did he do that? So we hang out. So afterwards, the girl left. She's tired. I gotta go home. She said, bye, I'm staying here. And so afterwards, we're hanging out, and he goes, I'm doing some pilot for Comedy Central. He's like, could you like DJ like when the people are walking in and so there's like some energy? I go, yeah, I guess. We shoot the Chappelle Show pilot.
Wow.
I meet Neil Brennan. He goes, yeah, just play music while people coming in and in between while we're shooting, great. Do that. Time goes by, nothing's mentioned about it. Then I bump into him again, and I go, what happened with that thing that we did? That thing you shot? He goes, oh yeah, they're doing it. I go, oh, okay. You want to DJ on it? I go, do you want me to DJ? You don't seem like you care. He goes, I don't know, whatever, I don't know. Boom, Chappelle Show. So he shoots the sketches, and then we go in front of a studio audience. And he showed, like on the show, he shows the sketches to the audience. So he wants me to play in the room, like before people, like he loves music. To this day, he always has a DJ on stage. He loves that energy. So I'm the DJ on the Chappelle Show. When you watch Chappelle's show, the first thing you see is my face, like, ha, and it goes past me. Okay. But I'm fucking around with him when he's warming up the crowd. Like Donnell would warm up and then Dave would come out and do some time and I would like play songs and he'd laugh and like if he mentioned something I'd throw in a song and then I would say something back to him and one day he goes, you're fucking funny, bro. He goes, you should do comedy. And I go, comedy? Why would I do comedy? I'm a DJ. Like I'm whatever, shut up. And that was like 2002. And like, bro, like how much further would I have been if I listened in 2002. Then,
so you didn't start then?
No.
Oh, I see.
I laughed. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what he meant. Then as I grow on the radio, people keep saying, now I'm a personality on the radio, not just a DJ. So people keep saying, you're fine. I'm doing stupid pranks. I'm calling 2 Chinese restaurants on conference.
Yeah, and they're calling each other. They're like, you call me, no, you call me.
Yeah, what do you want?
Yeah,
like,
what do you want?
What do you want? But I'll put it on the air.
Yeah.
Bro, remember the Nextel chirp phones?
Yeah.
So I recorded the sound. And when songs were playing on the radio, I would just go, beep, beep.
And drop it into the song so people would think their phone.
I don't know how many people looked at their phones, but I would do it.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly. And people would call up, your phone's on the air. I was like, no, I don't even have a Nextel. I hear the noise. I go, what are you talking about? Beep, 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 beep. So anyway, so people would be like, you're funny on the radio. And I just kept hearing it. And I was on MTV too. And one time I was on MTV, I had this show called Direct Effect, which was a hip hop show. But once in a while they would bring me on TRL. It's like if they had like an urban act on TRL, they'd bring me in. So Will Smith, I'm fucking with Will Smith, and in the commercial break, he goes, you're funny. He goes, you do comedy? I go, no. He goes, you're funny. And then I swear to God, Jamie Foxx said the same thing to me. And then now it just keeps twirling. Now, I'm in the New York hip hop scene where
I mean, listen, if you've got Chappelle and fuck Will Smith, but if you got Chappelle and I hear you, but fuck him, Chappelle and fucking Jamie Foxx telling you,
and like rappers too, like Snoop.
But still, those are comedians, who've done it, who've been there from zero all the way to mega stardom. Like,
bro, I'm a smart guy. Like, I know when the universe is sending you signals, right? And I go, and I'm in the New York hip hop scene where every DJ is like a tough guy, and I'm corny, I'm funny. I say, even when I used to DJ clubs, I didn't know I was doing bits. I didn't know what it was called, but I'd be like, yo, there's so many Puerto Ricans here. What's up? We gonna party tonight? My car's right out front. Nobody steal my radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a nightclub, and people would look up at the booth laughing and they're dancing. So anyway, so I keep hearing funny. So I go, I gotta do something with this. How can I make money? So they were like, just do a night at a club. You know, what's the guy's name? Old school guy, Bobby Collins. Mm-hmm. You know Bobby Collins?
Yeah.
Bobby Collins comes to my radio show to promote his weekend at at Comics. It was a club called Comics.
Mm-hmm.
The booker was there with him, and I go, I want to try doing like a comedy night. What should I do? And I see her light up. Like the guy from Hot 97 wants to do a comedy night. She goes, do one of our nights. She's like, do like an off night. So I'm like, all right, what's your worst night? She goes, Tuesdays. Boom, Tuesday. I started a show called Don't Get Gas. That was like my little slogan. First night, packed. Rappers, ball players.
No shit.
Packed. All black and Spanish kids, like my fans. The club had people trying to buy bottles. The club is like, what the fuck just happened? They didn't think it was going to be anything. So I do that for like 5 years. That's 2007. So I go on stage. I had a host. I just went on stage. Thank y'all for coming. We're going to have a great night. Sit back, relax. We're going to have some fun. That's all I did. The host takes over. And I go up in the middle. I say one thing, get like a tiny laugh. Oh, okay. Right? And then it's a monthly show. Every month I go a little more. Then like by the 5th month, no hosts. I do it. Right? And I get a little laugh. Then I find myself like, oh, that worked. Trying to like, but like I never had to go through like the open mic scene because I had
You built your own.
I had a crowd. It was packed. Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Drake, everybody in there. I don't know sports. Again, I would say, but like John Stockton was in there. And my boy goes,
that's big. Yeah.
And my boy goes, he dunked on Jordan. Say he dunked on Jordan. So okay. I go, yo, my boy John Stockton's here. Like, Matt, remember when you dunked on Jordan? Crowd goes crazy. I go, I don't know. All right. Crowd goes nuts. You New York Knicks. All right. So then like a year and a couple months in, like Talent, Capone, it was like more of an urban show. But I never liked it to be all black. I always mixed the audience, the comedians. Mm-hmm. Cause I loved comedy. I just didn't think I wanted to do it. I used to watch, the Caroline's Hour and Live at the Improv, all those shows, Johnny Carson, everything with a comedian. But I never thought I wanted to do it. So I always made sure it was mixed comics, white guys. I'll book 3 black guys, you book 2 white guys. Mike Vecchione, Dan Natterman, they're all in there. And about a year and a half in, Talent, Capone, a couple other guys. Who else? Mark Vieira. They go, okay. They sit me down. They go, okay. Looks like you like doing this. You want to actually try doing stand-up? I go, yeah, I'm doing it. They go, no. This is not. You're fucking around. They go, this doesn't count. These are all your fans. They're going to laugh at whatever you say. If you really want to try it, you got to come with us. I was like, whatever, I'll go anywhere. And then this is where the 2 years of bombing. I'm cocky. I don't give a fuck. I'm funny. Okay. Hood rooms in Queens, ghetto Jamaican spots bombing. I get the little fame off my name. Oh shit, Cipha Sounds. Oh shit. was just my favorite one is I'm at this Puerto Rican bar in Brooklyn. I don't speak Spanish. But Puerto Ricans love me. I had a show on the radio. By now I'm doing the morning show. So like I'm on fire. So the morning show was a black, a Puerto Rican, and a Jew walking to the station.
Okay.
That was the show. It was all about different viewpoints of New York City. So it was me, Puerto Rican, my friend Rosenberg, the Jewish guy, and this girl, Kay Fox. And like whatever news subject would be like, how do black people feel? How do Latinos feel? Blah, blah, whatever. So the Latinos are loving me now because I'm like representing. So I go into this club. I didn't know about going last, headlining, none of that shit. So the guy puts me last. So I'm like, whatever, man. I'm Cipha Sounds. I'll kill it. So 3 guys go up, and the guy before me, Edgar Rivera, does his whole set in Spanish. Crushing. Bro, so the stage was, behind me is like the window to the street. You can see the sidewalk. But they had like a black curtain. And then there was like an emergency exit right there. Bro, I go up, they bring me up, the crowd goes nuts. And within a minute, it was like crickets.
That's fast.
I couldn't even tag the last guy because you know when you go and be like,
what the fuck he said.
Yeah, you know what he said about Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Bro, it was so bad. I literally just walked out the emergency exit.
Did you really? How long in? Couple minutes?
6, 7.
And you just ducked out of the emergency exit.
I walked out the emergency exit. I think somebody says something like, yo, you corny. You corny. I walked out. The alarm goes off. Alarm goes off. Yeah, it's like the red,
Christ,
red push thing. I walked out. My boys are with me. They have to like run out the front. The owner comes out. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, I'm not paying you. I go, I don't want to be paid.
Yeah.
I want to get out of here. So that was my worst bomb. Not my worst bomb ever, but the one where I didn't go back up for like 3 months.
Okay.
Right? So I have a monthly show. I would just hire a host.
No, you stopped doing that one too?
Even mine.
The one where you were killing it, you stopped.
Bro, I couldn't.
Shook you, huh?
I couldn't. And I go, and then my guy, Talent.
Oh, God.
So, sorry. You know Talent?
I know who he is. I don't know him personally, but I know all
great.
these guys from shows.
So I was on Hot 97. He was the comedian on Kiss FM, which is across the hall. Every morning, he'd be like, you get up last night? What'd you do? How'd it go? You know, he would give me like, so for like 3 months, I wouldn't even go in there. He goes, yo, what the fuck's going on, bro? He goes, why are you not telling me? But I can't. And he's like, bro, you have to. He's like, the only way, go back. So finally I did it. And then I learned how to take bombs, you know what I mean? But that was
Isn't that interesting? Like, not only do you have to learn how to write jokes and then your own voice, like how do I put this art form into my body and process it out this way, you also have to learn how to fucking eat shit.
Yeah.
You got to learn how, because the nugget, the gold is found in that shit. It's like,
100%.
okay, 20 minutes, I bombed for 15, but there's 5 minutes of something in this motherfucker. Yeah, and then you got to dig it out and figure out how to use it.
I actually like that now because you,
it's a truer gauge to what is really actually funny.
Right, and
you
then
you got that treatment I've seen some celebrities get who've done stand up, and they get a first maybe 5 minutes because of who they are.
Yeah.
But if they're not bringing it, the crowds they don't give a fuck. They're like, okay, great, you had a TV show or you're in some movies, man, but you're sucking ass right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And even after you bomb, there will still be fans that come up to you that want a picture or an autograph.
Yeah.
But you know in that moment it was not going well. But I like now, I finally, when I bomb now, I literally go, I'm bombing. You know what I mean? And just be honest. This is not going well.
Yeah.
And then that sparks. If you're just a joke writer, maybe, there's funny people, there's pristine joke writers, there's guys who are hybrid. You know what I mean? There's like all these different architects of a comedian. So like, if it's not working, I just talk to the people and start finding stuff. And those turn out to be the funnest shows now, you know? But the shit is when you're with other comics and you're bombing and then you hear them laughing.
Oh, it's our favorite.
The true joy.
It's our favorite.
I did a show
watching this motherfucker die up here, because especially if you're done or if you know you're next, you're like, God damn it. But people turn around and look at you like you think that's funny. You're like, nah, that's not why I'm laughing.
Bro,
that's not why I'm laughing.
I didn't even do a show. I used to open for Michael Che a lot. And like Michael Che, when I met him, he was a fan of me. Mm-hmm. And he was nobody. And I used to do my show and they're like, can you put this guy Michael Che on? I go, yeah. And he met me, he was excited to meet me. So we were like this, and then and he's fucking out of here. But I went hung out with him for I don't know sports. What's the Super Bowl of colleges?
The national championship.
Yeah, the national championship. So 1 year he got booked to do that, to do stand up for the teams.
Oh, okay.
I think it was in Atlanta. So it's Michael Che, JB Smoove, Roy Wood Jr. Mm-hmm. 3 fucking killers. Mm-hmm. So we go, it's a hotel, one of them hotel conference rooms. They got some food for the kids. These are college kids, so they're not really supposed to be going out. So they provide entertainment before the big game. So we go in there. Each one of them ate all the shit, bro.
They did.
All of them.
Really?
So there's 3 people laughing. Me, Che,
the 2 comedians whoever's on, up. Yeah.
falling over on the floor. These players are looking back at us like, what the fuck are they laughing at? So the first one goes horribly. Then we go walk through this tunnel to the hotel across the street to do the same show for the other team. And now they're like, you think it's going to be better? You think it's going to be... I'm like, yeah, it's going to... And then worse.
Worse.
Worse, because I think the only difference that I could think of is the one team was from Georgia. Mm-hmm. So they were home, and the other team, maybe it was Alabama or something. So they're out of town, so they were more uncomfortable. And it was the funniest shit ever.
It's the best.
But the second one, they all expected the bomb. So they were just ready for it. Yeah, it was like...
Right. That's right.
They were making jokes for us.
Exactly. Right.
And then there was some shit in there, and sometimes I would be like, yo, Che, that was funny. You should use that. You should make that into something. So you find the good shit in there. But yeah, so it's fun, man.
And now here you are. Do you still DJ?
Not much.
Really? You don't?
Not much.
It's all comedy now?
All comedy. Okay. And like I left the radio to do comedy full time.
Right.
Like it was at a point I left. So I was at Hot 97 for 17 years. 15.
Oh, wow. Shit. That's a long time, especially in radio.
I never thought I would leave. I thought I'd be there my whole life. 15 years, great. The last 2, horrible. New management.
Oh, okay.
My biggest problem, Rye, is I don't promote myself enough. I've been part of so many different great things happening, but I don't get my credit. I'm like this, like I always say, when I die, it's gonna come out of the woodwork and be like, oh my God, this guy was incredible.
He did so much.
He connected this person with this person, this person.
Yeah.
But I don't say it. And sometimes I don't care, but then I think I'd be further along if I did. You know, I get all mixed up. So last 2 years were horrible. Management fucked me. The new guys didn't really know the blood, sweat, and tears I put into the last 15. Boom, boom, boom. But I was doing stand-up a little too. I asked Chris Rock on the air, hey, how do you get into the Comedy Cellar? I always hear about the Comedy Cellar. He goes, oh, you got to be recommended. I go, can you recommend me? But I'm joking around on air. But then off there, he goes, you really want a recommendation? He goes, I'll rec you.
Wow.
And I go, oh my God, I would love it. He goes, how do you do it? He goes, you get an audition. You got to, do an audition. So that was December. He gives me his assistant's number. Never hear from him. Christmas, New Year. I go, he's a fucking asshole. He's lying, whatever. I quit my job February 2015. I had all this drama. Monday, I go, fuck it, I'm quitting. Tuesday, we do like the paperwork, the severance, Wednesday is the worst day of my life. It's a place that I went to for 6 days a week for 17 years. I'm sitting at home like, what the? My wife goes to work. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? I'm like, all right, baby, I got to go DJ for Pitbull or somebody. Like, Pitbull's a friend of mine. Maybe he'll let me DJ for him. Oh, my wife's like 7 months pregnant. I'm like, all right, I got to maybe ask Jay-Z if I can work back with it. Something. I'm like, fuck it. Just Wednesday, I just sit and watch Abbott and Costello movies, eat pizza. Just fuck it. I'll deal with it tomorrow. Thursday, I get the call from Chris Rock's assistant. Oh my God, sorry. Forgot to tell you, Rock got you an audition. When? Tomorrow.
Oh, shit. All right.
So I'm like, oh shit. I go to audition, Comedy Cellar, crush it. Get past at the Cellar. Literally, I go, oh, I made the right choice. This was life telling me, boom. Now, the next 4 times at the Cellar, bombed horrifically.
Yeah.
Bro, they put me on at 1:30 after Dave Attell. Just, I go, oh, maybe I didn't make the right decision. Bombing. But then the 5th one, I caught one. And I go, okay, got it. You know what I mean? But the first 4 bookings, if she was there, the lady who books at Esty, I'm sure she would have got rid of me. But,
Dude, that's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
so it's interesting to me to go from such a high level where you were as a DJ, but to follow a passion and start over completely again from zero. From zero. It's really impressive, dude. Good for you. You should be proud of yourself.
I always don't say zero because I did have a following to get my room packed.
You did, and you had connection in the music / comedy world,
They
but
brought it together.
Zero, I mean, from
As far as stand-up.
you had no family in this shit.
Oh,
you
no,
didn't
no,
come
no.
up in that
No,
world. As
nothing.
far as proper stand-up, you used your music and radio connections to transfer. I mean, you really shut it down. I'm surprised that you don't DJ anymore. Do you ever do like a once in a while or any benefit shows or shit like that?
Yeah.
But you're not out there doing, like, obviously you can't.
The problem is how much time you need to put into stand-up. And I don't want to jip myself. Also, I don't love the new music like I loved music from the 90s to the 2000s.
90s hip-hop is still my favorite shit. It just holds
Bro,
up.
at any moment, if Jay-Z's like, can you DJ a 90s party? Bro, I have it ready right now. I can do it right now.
Yeah.
I have my laptop. Like, but the new stuff, I still keep up with it. I still like some of it, but I don't love it.
So let me ask you this question then. What do you love more, comedy or DJing?
Now, comedy.
Does comedy supersede music, just music in general, or are you still more loving? Just because you don't perform or play. What do you like more?
It's not even, it's hard to compare. Comedy, like I see comedy almost every night, even if I'm not on the show, man. Bro, music is my life, it's my lifeblood. It's always there. But like I even did improv at UCB. I had a hip hop improv show where I would bring my famous rapper friends to tell a story and we would do improv off of it.
Okay.
I had a TV show with that I almost sold. I did sell it. I sold, what was that guy's name? Harvey Weinstein. I sold it to Harvey Weinstein, the Weinstein Company, and then that didn't work out. But yeah, I love fucking. It's almost, here's the thing, it's almost the same thing to me. I listen to music in my car, but I also listen to all the comedy channels on Sirius satellite radio and podcasts. So it's like it's like a rhythm. It's like a rhythm is a way to get your mind off the stress and all this shit. Fucking Scoville's one of my favorites. That's how I met Dan Van Kirk. And I was here a couple weeks ago. I did their podcast, and I was supposed to go home that night. And Scoville was like, "Oh, I'm doing this show at what's that show he was doing? Some little theater in Frogtown. Is that a thing? He was doing some little show. I changed my flight because I never saw him live.
Yeah,
he did maybe 20 minutes because he was like kind of bringing other people up. I'll change. I lost money on that.
Yeah,
on that deal, but I love it, man.
That's it.
I love it.
Well, first of all, this has been a great episode.
I hope so.
It has.
It feels like I was all over the place.
No, you weren't. It was that was your life, by the way. You just talked about. You've been all over the place because that's how you lived life.
Yeah.
Advice you'd give to your 16-year-old self now.
It's so funny you ask. I literally just said it. Get your credit, right? I get all weirded out about talking about yourself. I don't want to look narcissistic. I don't want to look like I'm
Me too.
Feeling myself too much. But then I know guys, you know DJ Khaled?
Mm-hmm. I know he is.
How do you know who he is?
Because he says it in every motherfucking song.
Screams it.
Yeah.
In every commercial, every interview, Khaled was literally under me. I got him his first shot on Hot 97, like a guest DJ. Khaled's my boy. And he just, he's a superstar now. And he just promotes himself like crazy. Now, I don't know if I want to be that, but I don't do it enough. I'm like, oh, the work. I'm going to head down in the work. Get the work done. Be funny. No offense. There's a lot of kids on TikTok that are not funny.
There's a lot of people on stage that aren't funny.
And they're doing something to get them way more shows than I got. But I look at them, I go, but it's not that funny.
It's also not sustainable. You're going to get one audience. They're not coming back to grow with you as you become a comedian and a different person. You know what I mean? Because your comedy's going to change.
Yeah.
And they're not coming back after that bullshit. There's a lot of guys that'll sell one motherfucking ticket and that's it. So don't even worry about that shit.
I don't worry about it. But like there is a middle ground there where I do have to say the stuff I've done and
for
doing.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I just did a TV show with LL Cool J where we search for hip hop artifacts. It's coming out on A&E in the next year. And I told myself, make sure you focus on promoting that you're part of this thing.
Yeah.
Because you'll just keep doing your spots, keep doing stand-up. And like, there's a thing out there that could help, but you got to tell the people.
Also, there's so much good shit out there today.
Yeah.
That if you don't tell these people it's out there, they don't fucking know it's out there because they're living on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon. They're not jumping over to A&E. They might not have, you know what I mean? So you got to tell people. Yeah. I'm interested. It surprised me because I thought you might say start comedy in 2002.
Oh, yeah. But that's...
but no, it goes the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah,
I was just curious if you felt like you really missed an opportunity, but it doesn't feel like you have.
No, knowing how long it takes to get good at stand-up, I did wish I started when Chappelle gave me that little piece of little nugget because I could have still did everything. Here's the beauty. I was on the radio in the daytime. Comedy prime time is 7 to midnight and still could have DJ'd midnight to 4 or in those time frames. So that's the only thing I regret, but it's not that because like Paul Mooney, like all the comedians used to come to the radio station and promote their weekends or whatever. And I asked Paul Mooney, oh, you're a legend. You know, I just need a little advice. This is why I don't ask comedians advice anymore. I need a little advice. How do I, do comedy? Get on fucking stage.
Listen. I was gonna say it earlier because the young comedians they ask all of us.
Yeah.
And you do sound like you're pushing them away and shoving them off when they ask you, but it's it.
That's it, bro.
There's no program that says get in this and after 6 months you'll do this and you'll be paid this and you'll get a title. It ain't none of that shit. It is figure it the fuck out. And there's only one fucking way to do it, and that is to get on stage again. And not just once, again, and eat shit over and over and over.
Keep going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 16-year-old Cipha, because...
Interesting, 16-year-old Cipha. Yeah, that's your name.
It's my name. It's been my name since 16.
I love it.
But I always, no matter what I did, I would have always went for it. So I don't have to give myself that advice because I always was doing that. Like, you find something you like the Marines, DJing, like just go in, but also promote it. You know what I'm saying? And big it up. And don't be afraid to work for free. I don't know if I would have told myself that, but I'm telling you that Is the camera on me,
Yep.
Kristen?
Mm-hmm.
Just to get in. Michael Che. Hey, can I go on the road with you? I don't really like bringing people on the road. I'll go for free. Flew myself out. Got there. No intentions of getting on. He goes, you want to do 5? Yep. 5. Because you're on the road. Now there's just us. 5 turns into 10. Turns into every week. You know what I mean? Chappelle. Hey, man. Chappelle brings me to DJ his shows. And I go, after I DJ, can I do 5? You want to do 5? Yeah, do 5. All the other comics that usually go first love it because no one wants to go first. 5, 10, 20. Now Chappelle brings me to Denver. Just me and him. I'm DJing 20, doing stand-up 25, bringing him up. But all that comes from just going, hey, can I do this? Can I do that?
Right.
That's all it is.
This is great, dude. Thank you again
Thanks for having
sharing
me.
this story.
So you don't give out HoneyDew.
I'll give you that mug, bro.
Okay.
It says HoneyDew.
Yeah.
No, we don't
I
give
didn't
out
eat
the
because I thought
HoneyDew.
there was going to be a
You'll throw it
platter.
away. You'll just throw it away. Plug and promote everything again, please.
At Cipha Sounds. That's all my Instagrams. CIPHA. And then Sounds will come up. The show coming out, Hip Hop Treasures, top of the year. Podcast Talk Clearlier with Will Sylvans. And the Juan Ep is Life with Peter Rosenberg.
So good, dude. Thank you again, man. And thank you all, as always. RyanSickler.com, Ryan Sickler on all your social media. We'll talk to y'all next week.